Hey YouTube, it's GreatFailsMontana, Team Ace's channel. I'm just making a quick deck profile on my regionals deck that got 9th place. Here it is. I made some tech choices that other people haven't made because I think the build lacks consistency otherwise, and I made some choices that give it a little more explosiveness than other people are making, and I think each of the decisions are viable. So I'll explain each one. I'm doing 3 Chaos Sorcerers. You kind of have to run 3 is what everyone's saying, but I almost thought of taking one out. Problem is you never draw them if you run 2. So having 3 in the deck, make sure you have a Dark in the Grave for product for one of these, and you don't get Clep in hand. They also very usable with as a discard powder for the 3 or 4 discard cards I run in the deck. So you kind of need them sometimes. So to feed the other ones, and Avarice as well. So there's 3 of those. 1 Caius. I like Caius at 2, I really do, but the problem is if I don't have that sack powder, I lose the game with a Caius in hand, so that's not going to happen. 1 Caius is very, very stable. I can sack a Gore's token, I can sack a Chaos Sorcerer, get off 2 removes for monsters or whatever else I need to handle. So he's nice at 1. I like him. Never a bad draw. Gores, really nice to drop on 6 AMs. You need this protection regardless of how many traps you're running. Not always true. If you're running over 8 traps, you need to don't run Gores. But if you're running under 8 traps, definitely run Gores or 8 traps. Basically, he's just your protection if someone BRDs or someone just blows up grenades or whatever else. So you just need to deal with those kind of OTKs with him. Fish OTK can't handle him really well either. Unless they have an army in play. But anyways, quick draw. Not a lot of people are probably going to be like, what the fuck, this is Chaos Plants, not quick draw. But I find it useful when you have these 3 to drop and you win the game. Well, because you get off 23 automatically, they have no protection because they overextend or whatever else. Now the same thing happens and is just as warranted to run quick draw, because you do the same thing. You drop them when you just did a debris play, and then you'll get your little Drill Warrior out, which is what you want to grab, because then you can grab your Chaos Sorcerer back and do some shenanigans and attack for 47, discard 1, get them back, or whatever else, get another quick draw out, do whatever you want to do. There's so many things you can do with them, so I find them to be very viable in the deck. At 1, 2 is too many clogs in your hand. You don't want clogs. It's the point of my decks. I don't like running anything that would clog consistency, which is why I'm running 41 cards. But anyways, there's 2 Debris Dragon. I'm not going to explain this. He has too many targets to not run 2. 2 Card Troopers. Card Trooper allows for more milling, and thus you have more targets in the grave. Also, it's a debris target, and you can use his effect to mill because it's a cost, and then blow up the field, and then you'll have some targets for Chaos Sorcerer or whatever else. Also, his floater status is amazing, so use him. 3 Rykos. I want to run Lila, kind of. I want to test it, but I don't have a Lila right now. But it worked really well at regionals at 3. I always had one to use in the grave for a remove or Avarice, and I also never really draw it into one that I didn't want, because you can always use a Ryko, really. Usually use it around 4 or 5 times a game. Effect Veiler. This card at 2 is perfect for this deck. Sometimes you'll need to use it for 1-for-1 to get your little formula play off. Sometimes you'll just use it because you need it. Dragoonity matchups, you need this card, even if they don't get Ravine off, because they'll still sometimes draw into decks if they get lucky. So just think about using 2 in every deck. I think in this format you kind of have to. Glow Up Bulb, it's a really nice ad. Gets you your Formula Synchron plays, 1-for-1 plays, Arcanite plays. I'm just going to end there. There's too many to describe. Spore, really nice ad. Once again, you get Shooting Star with it, Lone Fire, and either Monster Born or Call the Haunted. Oh, never mind. I guess, sorry. Call the Haunted. So that's where Lone Fires come in. So Lone Fire is basically your huge win condition on your deck. You get out Shooting Star, you win the game. So Pretty much just remember all of his effects, because you won't really use the third one, but remember that he can negate attacks. Something that I did forget in the tournament a couple times. It cost me one game for sure, one match for sure. Yeah. Anyways, there is the Lone Fires and Spore. Dandelion, he's the heart and soul of the deck. He supplies you with all your token needs, and Foolish wins you games because of him. Mystic Tomato, he helps you get Stardust faster, and then you can feed the grave with a dark and a light, so that's why I like using him, as well as to get the Stardust combo off. Plus, he's just a really nice floater once again to grab Sangan or Spirit Reaper. I'm running one Spirit Reaper, not two, because two is way too many for the deck. It's not a zombie deck. I would run two and probably a zombie if I could fit it in. But he's nice to pierce, obviously, to get that discard. He's also nice to just stop the OTK, do whatever you need to do, even if it requires you to let them waste a card, like enemy controller on it. That takes away an attack as well as an enemy controller, so that's two negatives on their part. They're losing a lot of advantage in that aspect. Allows for your bigger plays to explode. Also, debris target, you'll need it once in a while, and Chaos Sorcerer to target. You run Sangan because sometimes you'll get some plays off with debris, where you can debris grab Dandelion, and then sync out with Dandelion, still get a Sangan search, etc. Also, search for Mystic Tomato to grab whatever you need. Car Trooper is usually what I like grabbing. Monster Reborn is really solid in the deck, because it's just, and a lot of people don't like running it. Just kidding. Anyways, I'm not going to explain that. Use it with Lone Fire. Pretty much is what I usually do, actually. Never really use it for any other reasons unless I have to. Dark Hole, you blow up the field, you do whatever you need to do. Usually I don't like using it very often because you have a lot of field advantage, but when you lose it, you need to use it. Giant Churnade, usually I use it to set up. I never really use it to end games, because my game ending card is... This deck doesn't really end games like that. It's not an OTK. It just uses the concepts of an OTK, so it just takes away a bunch of minuses by your opponent overextending. That's how you win the game, is you just let them overextend and pretend that you're losing. And then you keep getting more adds in the deck, more pluses in the grave. That's how you win, because they overextend. Book of Moon, you have to run one. Stops synchros, it stops attacks if you have to use it for that. You usually don't use it for that anymore. Aggressive plays if you have to get rid of a Stardust or something. That's about it for using him. 2, Pot of Avarice. 3 is too much. Jeff Jones is a liar. It's good if you're willing to risk the consistency factor. I don't know how many games I lost when I ran 3 where I had 2 of these in my fucking hand. In the GK matchup, I actually sided one of these out. You keep one just because you need that, just in case you get all 3 out. But you also side in Dutch tornadoes and stuff. Anyways, Allure of Darkness. A lot of people don't like running this card either, but it's my tech, because you just remove Chaos Sorcerer, Spirit Reaper, Sangan, something, because you want to gain more advantage. Sometimes you just need those extra draws to get more plays in. My replacement for this card would be like Limit Reverse, which would be too inconsistent for me. So I find this card to add consistency, and that's why I'm not running Limit Reverse, because I replaced it with that. Foolish Burial. This card wins you games alone. I wish I had a hollow one, because they'd be cooler. But basically, it allows you to set up for anything you need to get done in the game. Allows you to win games, because you send your Dandelion, you get off one formula play, then you can sync out for Chaos Sorcerer remove, get Stardust, all that chaos. 1 for 1 is another one of those win condition cards, win more cards. You discard Dandelion, grab grab Spore, play, drop down your Lone Fire, then do shenanigans, tribute Lone Fire for Mystic Tomato, sync for there's just so much you can do. 1 charge, you have to run it because you need that early turn mill, just in case you get a good glow up bulb in the grave or something you need in the grave. This card just has to be played in the deck. If you're playing a macro deck, take this and affect the others out, but I doubt you will. 2 Mystical Spaces. The Dragooni matchup I was testing on YVD is way too tough. You have to run 2. It just makes them force a minus, and once all 3 of them are in the grave, you win the game. So force it. You have to force it out. Non-aggression area is my tech. It won me 3 to 4 games, and actually I thought I was going to get top 8 because of this card. Actually, I wish I would have, but 9th is really good. It allows you, if you didn't know what it does, you discard 1 card. Then during your standby phase, so that's the negative, is it has to be during your standby phase. People say it's too slow, but not for this deck. You get your discard off, plus it allows you to set up, so you discard like Lone Fire, Spore, one of your huge pluses in your grave, maybe even Card Trooper if you want to get debris play off, because your opponent can't normal summon, special summon, or set during their next turn. So they can't come back from a huge debris play ever, because everyone has their face downs and stuff. So it's huge. It's so crucial to the deck, I think. It's your little mini cold wave. There's no recovery if you get your setup, your formula out, so you win games because of this card alone. It has never hindered me in any way, actually. If I draw it, I know I'm going to win. Phoenix Wing, I would run a second non-aggression area, but Phoenix Wing serves its purpose way too much. Getting rid of those extra Stardust that Jiguru needs to get out is very crucial to the deck. Sometimes you just can't prevent what your opponent does. You have to have this card in the deck to mitigate what you deal with. Call the Haunted gets you your Lone Fire plays off, so you have to run it even though you're running Gores. Torrential Tribute, you have way too many pluses you can set, and most of the time I only use it when I'm going to lose advantage regardless. Yes, if you have a Raikou face down, you don't get mill, but you still stop them from getting Sheehan out or something, so that's the most important thing with this card. So 2 Solemn Warning. Once again, you really want to stop them from getting any moves off once you have your setup. This card just helps you reinforce your strength. So that's the deck list. My side deck I took apart already, so I can't show you that, but there's my Gorse token. 2 Formula Synchron. 1 Army Arm. I actually didn't run that, never mind. 1 Catastor. 1 Brionic. 1 Drill Warrior, because you have to run the big 3 for quick draw. I know it takes up a lot of room. 1 Iron Chain. 1 Nitro Warrior. 2 Black Roses, because you will need that second one if you can't avarice it back. 1 Arcanite. 1 Destroyer. 1 Colossal. 1 Stardust. I actually had Dark Hand Dragon because I wasn't running Scrap Dragon, but now I win way more games without Dark Hand. So if I was you, I'd run Scrap Dragon, because most of the time you can just run over Stardust to Scrap Dragon anyways and do what you want to do afterwards. And then Shooting Star, which is your huge win condition. I actually was running him, but I had to take him out, and so I'm trying to test out to see what I need to take out. Actually, I'm considering taking out Iron Chain because I never, ever, 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 ever sync for him. But just in case that one duel when you need him, you have to run him. You really do. It's kind of sad, but I haven't needed him yet. So that's the deck list. If you have any comments, just comment and ask me any questions. This is going to be on Team Ace's channel. So enjoy the video. Thanks, guys. Bye.